London, my side of the bed, same sheets, different pillows. My side of the bed, same sheets, different pillows. With Chris and Alicia, what you want? Tell me what you want.
That's what I'm looking at, like right there. But I can't see on that side. So yeah, I can see.
What's up, everybody? Hope everybody had a good weekend. It's Sunday, we get another day off.
Yes, indeed.
And let me tell you, Tipsy Tommy done got a new drink, y'all. And y'all know me and my drinks.
I can't mess with it.
I come across a new drink. And you know, I usually, it's a cognac. We're going to Douce, right? We're going to do some Douce. And I usually don't mix my cognac with nothing but ice, right? That's what I usually do. What is that shake?
No. I can't see it.
Douce.
Yeah.
Douce, everybody. Got that?
Yeah.
So,
Although it is pretty good.
It's
I
real
don't do dark liquor, but it is really good.
so we do 4 ounces of Douce, right? It's like 2 shots. Two shots. I mean, it's not asking too much, right? 2 shots. I mean, 2 shots of cognac. I mean, you know, yeah, more than that. And some of this Disaronno, which is nothing but it's an Amaretta liqueur. You do one of these. It's brown too.
I mixed that
Right.
with mine. It was pretty good.
With your
My Syrah. Pretty good.
Then you take this pineapple juice, you know, everybody got the Everfresh in the corner store next to you. Every corner store.
I don't mean to be negative, although I cannot stand Everfresh. It's the most cheapest
You do 4 shots of this, right?
pineapple juice or juice period.
Pineapple juice.
Yes. Get some Dole. Dole would be good.
But you know, everybody ain't.
At the liquor store, that's all they have.
Yeah. Because you're just mixing it anyway, right? Right? So then.
Yeah. See, Darcy prefers Dole to Everfresh. It even says it. It's only 10% juice. I'm a label reader.
Shake. Pour it over a glass of ice. And that's what you call the code.
The code.
That's the name of the drink.
I know, that's what I was looking for. Technical difficulty. Wasn't prepared.
So yeah, Tipsy Tommy's new
I'm
drink.
toast, even though that's not what I'm drinking, but I'm gonna still toast
It's
it.
the code. Now.
Wait. Before we get started, before you introduce the topic, just want to say happy Valentine's Day to everybody out there. Hope they had a good Valentine's weekend. Happy birthday to Kelly. I forgot to text you. And happy birthday to Nicole. Forgot to text you too.
So you want to tell them?
Yeah.
Okay.
Happy birthday.
Boy, friends like you.
I know.
Man.
I'm that's a whole nother topic. I'm a terrible friend, but I love all my friends. But I'm such a terrible friend because I don't call.
Right. So, all right. So our topic this week is, what did you learn from your past relationship?
Yes.
Or
I condensed
What have you
mine
learned?
because I learned a lot, but
I did too.
I'm only put the important things.
and feel free to chime in with your comments. We'll read them out loud, and we'll discuss your comments too. So I'm gonna let you go ahead and go first. What you learned?
So
The motherfuckers wasn't me.
all right, so
Oh shit, Tina here. What's up?
my first thing that I learned, because I do have a few things, and I'm gonna just say one, and then I'll let you go. We'll go back and forth. My first mistake, I'll say, is
What's up, Glenn?
I did not finish school. I didn't finish college because of a relationship. Like, I left college, and I think my life just went in a different direction, or it could have went in a different direction had I not left college when I did and just finished right after high school. And it wasn't even worth the experience. Well, I guess it was worth the experience because I learned a lot from that, but that was my first mistake, is I put someone else over me and my education. So now here I am, 40 years old, trying to still finish school. Big mistake. Finish school first. That's mine. Well, that's minor. But go ahead.
First thing I learned is karma will overcharge your ass. So you need to be cautious of what you do, because I think karma came back on me because I wasn't faithful in all of my previous relationships, right? So when someone flipped the tables on me, that shit hurt, man. And you don't realize it when you're the one doing the cheating, or when somebody cheat on you, man. That's a bad feeling, man. And karma will overcharge your ass. You know, it was to a point where I was like, man, come on, man. I ain't did all that, man. I know I did some shit, but you charging me a little bit too much. So be cautious of what you do, because when that shit come back, that shit don't feel good at all. What else you learn? Yeah.
See, he came prepared today. I'm flying.
I learned
you got notes.
Man.
Like last time I had notes, and now I felt like a nerd because I had notes the last time. Now he got notes.
Yeah, I mean, this is a topic that I really learned a lot.
Yeah,
man.
it is. So the second thing is domestic violence, and I know, like, it's so common to me, I feel like it's common in the Black community, where people think it's okay to like put their hands on each other. And the crazy thing is, like, when you're in a relationship with domestic violence, you don't think that it's serious, you know? So it's like, oh, we fight, we put our hands on each other, that's just what we do. And it's just like brushed over. But there was a point in time where it got kind of bad, where I mean we were putting our hands on each other. So yeah.
What? I didn't know
Don't
you was
let
in
this food taste good. No,
I didn't know you was in one of those relationships. Okay.
Yeah, it was. And like I said, like, the thing is, you just don't realize that it could be you. And at one point, there was a time where I felt like it could have got bad, even though. So, and I'll just say this: we were fighting, and he choked me. I don't think he realized that he was choking me, and I literally could not breathe. Like, I felt like I was about to die, but I don't think he meant to, like, oh, I'm gonna kill you. You know what I'm saying? And the crazy thing is, the apartments that we lived in, there was a guy that lived downstairs from us. We never saw him ever. Like, he was never ever home. For some reason, and I shouldn't say for some reason, but I know that it was God. That man came up and knocked on the door because he heard us fighting. And I think if he wouldn't have came up and knocked on the door, then I probably wouldn't be here. Over a simple, like, oh, we was just fighting. I don't think, and I'm not trying to defend my ex's actions, but it was more like we were fighting. I was in a chokehold, and he didn't realize that he was really cutting my ear off. But if that man would have knocked on my door, I probably would have passed out or died. You know? So it's like, you don't really think about that you're in a domestic violence situation, because it's like that's just, we argue, we fight, and then we move on the next day. But it's not okay. It's like, never. If somebody puts their hands on you, that's it. They don't respect you at all. But I was young.
Like
I was young. I was in my early 20s, so it was crazy.
Woo! Well, that's some new shit. Y'all learned. I learned some shit today too. Damn. The other thing I learned, man, when you marry a woman.
Oh God. Wait, hold on. Did you learn this from me? No, I'm just
When you marry one woman, you need to expect to live with 3 women.
Okay.
Okay. There's the woman that you think she is, like the woman that I think you are.
Mm-hmm.
There's the woman you really are. And then there's the woman you become by being married to me.
Yeah.
Now the third part is entirely up to me. You can turn into a vindictive person based on how I treat you. You know what I'm saying? Or you can turn into a sweetheart, based on how I treat you. But be prepared. There's gonna be 3 different women. Who you think she is, who she really is, and who she's gonna turn into. So I think you've changed.
I think I've changed
since we've been married. Yeah.
But you have too. It's not just women.
I know. I'm gonna get to that. And,
is that your next point?
Yeah. Little things go a long way.
Yes, they do.
It ain't the gifts. It ain't all that. It's the little stuff like folding the clothes. It's giving you your time. You know what I'm saying? Like, I think you value just free time where you ain't got to do nothing for nobody.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? I think you appreciate those more than any of the big gifts.
Yep.
That's another thing I learned. So, yeah, what else you learn?
I lost my went blank. Oh, okay. So the last thing that I learned, and this was I don't know. I think I don't know. But anyway, so kind of going back to our last video when we were talking about I said that I shouldn't have got married, or one of the reasons why I got married is because the first time is because I was proposed to. But I honestly think that was like a mistake on my part, because I should have been honest. So you had asked me a question in the last video, and you were like, well, what if I can't remember how you said it. What if somebody really liked you?
He's saying that you the one, and he ain't the one. How do you bring that to him?
I should just be honest up front and just say that you're not the one. Because it was expensive, because we spent money on, we had this huge, and this kind of goes in, I'm going to just go into my next, or what I learned too. We spent a lot of money on our wedding, on a marriage that didn't even last a full year. So it was like all that money was down the drain. And then, so first, what I learned, be honest, be upfront. Be upfront with your feelings. Don't sugarcoat nothing, because really in the end, all you're gonna do is either be mad at yourself for getting in the situation, or you're just gonna be miserable, and you're gonna have to feel like you gotta live the rest of your life like that. But oh God, the second thing I learned out of my first marriage is I did not know how to say I want a divorce. And it wasn't because here's the thing though, it was not because of his feelings or my feelings. It was because of everyone else. I didn't want people around me to be like, oh, you failed, or oh, we spent all this money on, y'all just got married, oh, y'all, what happened? I didn't want all the questions. I felt like I failed, and I failed everybody that was a part of our wedding. So that was like one of the hardest things for me. It wasn't even saying to him that I wanted a divorce.
That's one of my
things
I learned is keep motherfuckers out your relationship.
Yes.
Family, friends, keep them out your relationship, man. At the end of the day, it ain't enough. It's only enough room in the bed for two of us.
Yep.
So if you can't fit in that bed with us at night, nah, you don't have no influence on our relationship. But at the same time, when you start dating somebody, I think you do need to listen to some of the people around you. Is what I learned. Like they may see something that you don't, because you so infatuated with the person. You don't see the little flaws that your mom sees or your best friend sees. I mean, you take it with a grain of salt and you evaluate where the information's coming from. You know, you're like, man, every person I done dated, you said does that. So nah, I can't value your opinion. But if one of your homeboys is telling you, like, look, man, that ain't the one, man. Now,
listen to your mom.
Listen, oh my goodness, listen to your mom.
My mom gave me a hint, but I didn't catch it before my first wedding. I didn't know what she was saying.
Yeah. I don't see her.
But what's going on?
I don't know. I don't know what I was doing. I was adding somebody to the to the conversation and
messed the whole
everything
thing up. Yeah.
Yeah.
But yeah, listen to your parents. Sometimes they are right. Sometimes, I shouldn't say sometimes. Parents know.
And parents have a good idea.
Yeah.
They have a good idea. So listen to people around you, what they telling you. Another thing I learned about myself is I got some selfish ways, man. And it took being, in the same relationship, getting the same results in a different relationship to realize, you know what, maybe you the problem. You know what I'm saying? So
yeah, I have to agree with that.
I mean, anybody that knows me knows it. Yeah, I got some selfish tendencies. Yeah, so those are some of the things I learned. I can be petty as hell. I can be unforgiving.
Yes.
It's
but
hard.
I think all of us can. I'm not gonna keep saying yes on you. Like, yeah, you, yep.
Me.
But yeah.
I don't know what's going on.
I don't know what he's doing. Something. I don't know. Something
happened. Man, my auntie tried to jump in the live conversation, and I was gonna let her in, but now it messed everything up.
So what are some things that you guys learned in your past relationships?
They do send you codes. Mary said they send you codes when they have their own agendas. Yeah. That's true. Evaluate who you get in a relationship with, man. They may be in it for something completely different than what you in it for. Mm-hmm. You in it for all the right reasons, and they in it for a party.
Right.
They just in it for the wedding, like some people. You know what I'm saying?
That was a mistake of mine. I was in it to plan the best reception party. It felt like a party. Like I was planning this huge ass party, and I had a good time because it was a big party. But then, like I said, afterwards it was kind of like, now what? Party's over. You know what? And this just came to mind too. One thing that I did learn, that I have learned, is that I never knew, and I don't know if this is because I grew up in a single family, single mother home. I never knew what a role of a man in the house is. And not to be like, oh, women have roles and men have roles, but like the difference between like my first marriage and I don't want to compare. I don't want you to think I'm comparing anything, but just some of the things that were different and that are different is that because I think because I was raised in a single family or a single mother home, I'm independent. So I do everything. I feel like I got to do everything on my own. So I'm like, no, I do this. No, I do that. No, I'm going to do this. If it needs to get done, I have to do it. So it did take me a little bit to like lighten up and be like, okay, I'm gonna let you take control of situations. I'm gonna step back. I'm gonna let you be the man of the house. Like, I didn't have that in my first marriage. It was, this is how it's gonna go because that's how I feel it should be. I never knew like someone could like love me the way you love me. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's more like we're so not 50-50, but just like my first marriage, everything was separate. Like, he had his bills, I had my bills. I paid my bills, he paid his bills. He paid his half of the rent, I paid my half of the rent. Like, oh, you late? You don't have your half of the rent? Oh, you late? I mean, like, that was some of our, arguments was like, but now it's more like, this is us. We're together. This is us. There is no your bills, my bills. There may be your stash money so you can go play on Amazon or order up some stuff. But as far as like, for me being able to just really let you take control over some situations, that was something that I had to learn. It was, I can't see what Carrie was saying. I'm sorry.
Carrie made a great point. She said, not having a dad in her life affected the decisions. Now that she's older, she hears the opinions of men and brings more clarity.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
Hey, that does have a lot to do with it, you know? If you see, you it's almost like you see. You know what I'm saying? When you think it's normal when you see dysfunction, and you think you just deal with it because that's how relationships are, and they're really not that way. They really can be a lot better. And I had to learn that. I told you I had some selfish ways. So, like bills and everything, it used to be like, nah, man, you got your shit, I got my shit, but that never works. That's a business partnership. That's not a marriage. You know what I'm saying?
Yep.
Like I made a post earlier. You don't marry the person that you can live with. You marry the person you can't live without. So that person, like, you gotta like literally be my oxygen. You know what I'm saying? I have to need you, and you have to need me. I mean, that's what we're here for. We're not just here to be compatible. You can be compatible with a lot of people.
Yeah.
And that doesn't last. Compatibility only lasts for so long.
Right. Yeah.
So.
But even though we did, like, growing up, I had positive male figures to look up to, but it wasn't an everyday in our home type. You know what I'm saying? It's like my grandfather, he was a good role model. My dad's mom was married. Like my other grandparents were married. Like all my grandparents were married when we were growing up. So it was just like seeing that everyday interaction we didn't see. Like, and I'm gonna say it's like small stuff, like, and I know this is so small, but like it would be stuff like when I would bring in the groceries. Like I felt like because I went grocery shopping, I bring in all the groceries, like, and I would have to make like several trips out to the car with no help. But like with you, I don't have to, like, I mean, you automatically know, like, oh, there's groceries, let me go and help. You know what I'm saying? It's like you just know where to pick up. I don't know. And maybe it could be him.
And I think I had a lot of, I mean, my dad wasn't in my life, but I had so many strong women in my life, like my moms, my aunts. They were, I saw how you're supposed to treat a woman. You know what I'm saying? I didn't always treat women right. No. You know what I'm saying? I'm still a Scorpio dog, was doing dog shit. But at the end of the day, I knew not to put my hands on a woman.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? I knew that. I knew you need to open the door for a woman. I mean, my sister Tina taught me how you really, you take care of that woman. You know what I'm saying? You make her feel like it's almost like an investment. I learned that too about relationships. A relationship is an investment.
Yeah.
What you put into it.
Yeah.
And if
you can't put 50% in.
No, you gotta put it all in.
50-50.
It's like 401k, man. You gotta put it in. I need 100% match.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? And also, when you invest in that relationship, if you're not getting nothing in return, you're not getting a return on your investment. You need to move your money.
Yeah.
Just
Yeah.
like you would do in a relationship. I'm not getting nothing back out of this relationship. It has to go both ways. If you're on a party when you're dating, you won't be a party when you're not. Exactly.
Yes. Yep.
If you're not, Tina said it. If you're not a priority when you're dating, you won't be a priority when you're
Nothing.
married.
Marriage is not gonna change.
No.
That.
Marriage don't change. Well, marriage does change you, but you can't change me.
Right.
I can't change you.
Right.
You can make me want to change myself. You know what I'm saying? You can't change a man. You can't make him do something. But what you can do is show enough love and invest in it.
Mm-hmm.
And where he's like, damn, I need to really change my ways.
Yep. Yep.
So those are some of the few things that I learned.
I'll say this: the best marriage advice that I received before we got married was the 3 F's.
Mm-hmm.
The 3 F's that are fuck up a marriage. I'm gonna put. He didn't say fuck up, but I think he wanted to.
Pastor Jones,
yes.
y'all. Pastor Jones.
But I put the fuck up in there. But 3 F's that are fuck up a marriage: your friends, your finances, and family. Like those are 3 things that you have to have under control in order for your marriage to work.
Yeah. And the way he explained it is, keep your friends out of your house. You know what I'm saying? You got to get away. I mean, you can still have friends, but you're married. You know what I'm saying? So, no, I'm not kicking it with my boys every weekend, 4 or 5 times a week. You know what I'm saying? Nah.
Mm-hmm.
Your finances, you better have your finances together, man, because, hey, the romance with no finance is a damn nuisance. And family, you gotta keep family out of your relationship, man, because they're loyal to you. Your family is loyal to you.
Yeah.
They've known you your whole life.
And no matter what story you tell them, they're always gonna see your side.
Yeah.
The other person is always gonna be in the wrong.
Now, like say we could argue, and as soon as I go and tell my mom about it, oh yeah, she said this. My mom gonna hold that grudge against you forever. Right. I may forgive you a week later and be like, oh, we good. Mom gonna be like, oh, nah, she did this to you and did that, because that's how family is, man. Right. So keep your family out of your dirt. Don't go running, airing your dirty laundry out to your family, man, because once you plant that seed, that tree is going to grow.
It is.
And it's going to continue to grow.
Every single thing that you say is going to continue to build on and build on and build on.
Yep. And they're going to remember all that.
Yep. Even though we passed it.
Yeah, they'll keep score. Yeah. They'll be like, hey, you remember they did this to you, they did that to you, they did this to you. Why you still with them? You know what I'm saying? Well, I forgave them. And you can forgive somebody who's willing to change for you.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
But friends, family, and finance will fuck up your marriage.
And even though you gotta have you have to have outlets to talk to. You know.
You do.
So and I think what I learned is that even though we go through arguments or whatever, you talk to your friends about it and you don't run with their advice.
My side of the bed, same sheets, different pillows. My side of the bed.